Hi, everywhere. This is Sayed coming to you live from Canada. And we are going to talk about in a new topic. This topic is how to learn English in a hostile environment or a foreign land or a foreign culture if you want, or how you can even teach yourself if you are that motivated person or highly motivated. So, coming to you live from Montreal, Canada, a new edition of Next Gen Podcast. And I'm very glad that I have great different students from different places in the world, in different countries, with different background, but they have a common ground, which is the struggle of learning and teaching English. With me, Aya from Cyprus and from Mauritania, Muhammad Abdullahi called Habib. All right,
Oh,
starting with you, Aya, first. How do you introduce yourself, please, in the very beginning of the show? You're welcome.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aya, and I am a master's student right now, and I studied Bachelor of Languages, English and French. And I am currently in Cyprus doing my master's and trying to get more experience and more language and more skills. So, yeah, this is me.
Thank you so much. Coming to you, Habib or Muhammad Abdullahi, if you want. If you want to make it sure that we call it you, call you Habib. Otherwise, we say Muhammad Abdullahi. Whatever you want.
no,
Or
call me Habib.
all right. So okay, call
Okay.
us. Yeah, a flower is still a flower, whatever names we call that flower. Okay.
Whatever you name
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly.
Uh,
Thank you. Yes.
my name is Muhammad Abdullah Sayyid. Also, they call me Habibullah, and also they call me Haiballah. And I ended up naming myself Habib for reasons that I don't remember. And
Who remember
I
them?
am a I don't remember them for the time being.
Okay.
I I um I got my bachelor degree months ago from the Institute of the Institute of Languages and Translation Interpretation months ago in English and French linguistics. And ever since, I've taught at different places, private schools, centers, online, English, and also Hassania. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Habib, for that introduction. Coming to you, Aya, how do you start learning English? Do you remember the time?
Actually, in my childhood, I first started learning French because I was in France. And then eventually, when I got back to my home country, I started learning English. And then I eventually forgot French. And then, actually, the teaching system of English in Sudan is not quite that good. So I had to develop my own language by my own self through movies and music and other ways.
So you were teaching yourself when you were not happy with the level of the school or the schooling system in general, and then you start teaching yourself.
Exactly.
All right.
That's what happened.
Exactly. Thank you so much. Coming to you, Habib. How do you start learning English? Please, in the desert, far away.
uh, me personally, I started learning English. I would say the beginning started with the movies because that was how I was introduced to English, and little by little, when technology came up with smartphones, when I started using smartphones and go like the internet also came out to Mauritania, it's at that moment it really helped me because there was YouTube, there were applications, there were websites where you can go and get any information you want related to English, and a little by little grabbing things from there and there till I make it somewhere. And then when I made it to the university, it was a big change because it was the first time for me to have to have people that I can practice with because I realized that I had a lot of English in my head, but I needed to put it into practice. And I think the university really helped me because I found people that I can practice with. I found, fertile environment where I can practice English easily.
All right. Thank you
That's
so much.
in short. Yeah.
Thank you, Habib. Coming to you, Aya, how you were practicing your English? Did you use new technology and use new streaming for the same reason, or you have developed a different way of practicing your English, please?
Actually, practicing English wasn't that easy for me, especially in my country. When they listen to you or they hear you speaking English, they be criticizing you like, Are you? Do you think you're a native English? You're Arab. You have to speak Arab. You shouldn't speak English." But then I I met a lot of foreign friends, and I had to speak English with them. And at the same time, even in my home country, I had some friends which I didn't care what people said, and I kept on speaking English because I knew that one day eventually this would work and it would go somewhere.
And how you were able to cope with bullying you in a traditional society that is not, or I don't want to say not respecting women, but thinking of them differently, if you want to say, especially when they want to sound a little bit international or global.
Yes, I always get criticized actually for being an ambitious woman, but I always I have a very supportive father who is always supporting me and makes me want to do more. And like, I'm not a person who cares what people say because I know as long as what I'm doing is right, then I shouldn't care about what other people say.
Okay, thank you so much. Coming to you, Habib, did you face the same situation when we are young learning English in your country, or you were, do you got a support, or you were facing the same bullying and same traditional society criticizing you of being different and learning a different language that they are not used to? Please.
Um, I think there was that way of conception, the way Mauritanians see languages. If you are learning a new language, especially if it's English or French, they see it as a colonizing language. They see it as a language that is not worth to be learned, and it would be better that you just go back to your root and learn Arabic, learn something that will take you somewhere, but not English. But I think when I started learning English, I don't think that I had as much bullying that someone would have if he's learning, especially French or English. I just loved. I felt for the language. I loved it so much, and I and I kept going. And if there were any criticism whatsoever, maybe I wasn't aware of them because I just loved it to the extent that I would block any criticism that I get. And I think at some point I get a lot of good positive feedback from people like telling me, "Oh, English is like the language of the day, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna come handy one day." I, Personally, like I need to admit that I get good comments, good vibe when it comes to learning new languages these days. Even though we know that traditionally and for our society that languages, especially English and French, as I said earlier, aren't our cup of tea.
All right, thank you so much, Habib. Coming to you, Aya, please. How different is the experience that you have right now in Western University as a Muslim with hijab and coming from Arabic tradition when you are learning this new languages, whether it is English or French, and the different degrees that you're working on? Did they receive you, accept you the way you want, or did they support you fully, or they are just looking at you with a certain distance?
Actually, currently I'm studying international relations, and I still haven't faced any criticizing, but I have heard that I should be accepting, expecting one soon because we have a racist teacher, but I am very determined to inspire them and like shut them with my abilities and my and what I'm capable of.
Great. So your
So I'm
ambition
looking
and your
forward to,
determination, yes, your ambition
yes,
and
I'm
your
looking forward
determination,
to meet that,
yeah,
experience that.
was helping you. Great. Thank you so much. Okay, welcoming Yusuf Muhammad joining us right now. Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf, for being there. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Next Gen Podcast. And we are talking today about how to learn English, the difficulties that you were facing, the challenges, the support, the non support, the bullying, and so on, the experience you have at your personal and professional level. How did you start learning English, please, in Mauritania or in Sudan? You are from Sudan right now or in Mauritania? Can you tell us where you are and introduce yourself,
He's in
please?
He's
He's
in
in Mauritania
Mauritania.
right now. Okay.
I think his connection is very bad.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sorry for that. Yes. Okay. Getting back to you, Mr. Habib, right now. Okay, when you come to the university, what the change? If there's any change that are happening in your relationship with studying and trying to improve your English and be major in your English studies, what was the added value at the university? Was it your expectation or it was a different story? Or a sheer imagination?
When I first came to the university, I was very excited for the university. I thought it will be it will be something very big. It will be something that will be life changing and all that. And it was in in at some level it was. And but undoubtedly there is a part that the university has added to me, um, which is like widening my network. So first of all, classmates. So I get to know wonderful classmates, wonderful friends, and also the motivation that you get when you are at the university, and the tasks that you are giving, and the assignments that you are giving, and those stuff that are handed to you, and you need to carry them out, and all that. The motivation really help you to work hard, and that would generate at the end of the day, benefits and results.
So
So,
what was motivating you most in your university study, please?
well, I think one obvious thing is the want and the need to get best grades. That motivates you and keeps you excited and energetic. So it help you to get the best results.
Thank you so
And
much.
that's I
Coming
think
to
what
Mhm. That's
and
what?
that's I think what shaped me to be who I am now.
All right. Thank you so much, Habib, for that. Coming to you, Ayo, what is shaping you to be who you are?
That's a hard question, but
Uh, Thank you.
I have I have been changing lately, maybe because I am experiencing new things. Like I'm living alone for the first time. I am studying something that I've always wanted to study, although I didn't know I did want to study it. Like I used to be not a politics fan, but when I started studying it, I find it very interesting. So
Mm.
I believe that the field I've chosen now is what's shaping me and making me more confident and more aware of where I want to go.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Coming to Mr. Yusuf Muhammad. Mr. Yusuf, you are very welcome to the show. Please, at the very beginning, if you're hearing us well, would you like to introduce yourself, please? Hello, Yusuf. Hi, Yusuf.
Well, I think his
Yusuf.
connection is very bad.
He's not hearing us, and we are not hearing him. Unfortunately, I'm sorry. Mr. Yusuf. Hello. Hi. Okay, when you are with your culture learning international studies, how different that approach is from the approach you get used to in your home university. And do you think this international studies will take you where you are dreaming of being, please? Ah, yeah.
Yes. Studying international relations is very challenging for a woman, especially a Sudanese woman, especially. But I am still not sure whether my starting point is going to be my home country or another place. But I believe that if I get more experience and if I like steal ideas from developed countries and then take it back to my home country, then I believe I can make a change.
But what can you change? What good to talk about change as a women? What do you like to change in the internal relationship between Sudanese Arab first before changing anything at the international level?
Well, actually, what I want to change first is that I want Sudanese people to accept the fact that they are Africans and not Arabs, and that okay, I don't want to say bad things about my country. I love my country, but there's a lot of flaws that needs to be fixed, and I believe that the new generation has to do that because we are the future.
Great. So, what do you want to do in the future, you?
I want to create my own international organization that
Oh,
is to help non-developed countries, not only my home country.
Great. Thank you so much.
great.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Okay, coming to you, Habib, please. What do you like to change about your local culture and your university and the way you were learning there?
About my university, um, I think one of the things that I want to change about where I studied for my bachelor at the Institute of Languages and Translation. So first of all, I want to mention that this Institute of Translation, Interpretation, and Languages was meant to teach translation and interpretations. They used to do that at the very beginning because it was newly built. It was newly built only, let's say, four 4 years ago. And at the very beginning, they used to teach translation interpretations, but then realized that students themselves aren't able to, to speak the language, and so it will be in vain for students to be taught um, translation or interpretation. So now what they're doing is that they're just teaching languages, English, Arabic, and French, just as a language, linguistics almost, like grammar, syntax, phonology, and like studying the language itself, what a language is, and its morphology, the structure, and all that. And also they have a part where a communication part where it's the only part where students is somehow likely to like help him express himself and to speak. So I think one of the things that should be changed is they should have they should over focus somehow on the communication part, because most of the time people make it to their third years and they're unable to speak acceptable English, you know, and I think that is due to giving them an overload of grammar and syntax and those um, stuff that are related to the language. But at the end, students can't speak the language, and if they can't speak the language, they can't even express what a language is. And so I think there should be some regulations, there should be some change in order for the for the students to enhance their speaking skills.
So you were supposed to be able to be translators and interpreters, and you see that the level is not allowing you to go to that far extent, so you start basically doing the language itself rather than doing translation in the first and the second year.
Yeah, no, yeah, that's what the institute did. That's what the institute decided, because the institute realized that students are not able to speak the language, let alone if we're going to start, they're going to start translating.
So we should call you then English Institute and not translation then. All right, thank you so much, Aya.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, Aya. Coming to you, what do you like to change about your universities? Are you happy so far with the teaching methodology and the system and the environment, or you like to change something there at the level of teaching English or the subject of your major study, international studies as well?
Actually, it's not only my university, even high school and middle school. They just focus on the textbooks. In fact, my thesis back at my bachelor degree was about the problems that face students in speaking English language. So, after doing a lot of surveys and a lot of research, I figured that teachers focus on the textbooks rather than teaching students English and how to speak English. So this methodology should change starting from middle school. Like back in my university, some people did not even know how to speak English, although they major in English and they did graduate from English. So
Exactly.
it doesn't make sense. So this methodology has to end and they have to develop new ways to make students interacted and the culture has to change so that students should accept and like be okay with learning English and not taking it as a taboo.
Okay.
Sure.
So thank you so much for that. Habib, what is the taboo there in your side? So
A taboo?
were you doing the same thing? Were you doing textbook studies, or there was like a kind of orientation or a focus on communication, or it's still the same traditional grammar and memorization and that kind of traditional thinking and teaching?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, at high school, yes, it's still almost the same thing. It's almost the same thing. You have students who made it to baccalaureate, and they can't speak the language, because obviously every student know that he's not supposed to speak English at high school, at middle school, nor high school, because it's always the same thing. It's always, a textbook. You'll be given some dialogues, and the and students will read and they will write, and they don't even know what the dialogue is talking about. They don't even know the meaning of what they're just the teaching is taking some I don't know, some behavioral approach where you just get to learn this thing, but with less focus on the understanding, I would say, and the comprehension.
Thank you so much. Coming back to you, Aya, what do you think is the best way to teach English in secondary and middle school with a new methodology using the latest technology to make it easier and fluent for our young student, please? Based on your experience and your research, please.
Well, private schools can be able to have access for technology and all that, but for government schools, this would be a little bit difficult. So children are more attached to games. So I believe if they develop a methodology that is depending on games and other interesting things that attract kids, it would be better. As for teenagers, I believe that maybe competition and competitive spirit could help people. And as I said, we have to change our ideologies in order to make things better for us.
Thank you so much. Coming to you, Habib, please, can you tell me about the shock of post graduation when you were graduated? Do you think that everybody is waiting for you outside the gate of your institute, and then everybody is going to hire you, and then what happened? You expected, as expected, or as disappointed? Which one?
Well, of course, I was disappointed, and I remember when I
Nobody was
graduated,
waiting for you there.
yeah, no one, just a facade. So when I graduated, I remember months after I graduated, someone called me and said, I told him that I graduated, and he told me, "Okay, welcome to the world of joblessness."
Wow.
So I thought that English will like there's no way if you're able to speak English, no way you will be jobless. But I knew that it has nothing to do with what you're learning. It has nothing to do with if you have a certain major whatsoever. I think at the end of the day, joblessness is a part of life. And I think it depends on the person himself or herself. Whether you're majoring in medicine or in geology or in biology, but it all comes down to you. If you're strong and persistent and also insistent, and you know how to be hired, you know and that's why I mean qualification is very important, but also your personality is important. If you are a leader, if you are an agreeable person, if you are if you're patient, and if you also believe that sometimes you just have to wait. You have to wait the opportunity, and yeah, and you know that you need to start somewhere, and not to think that you will just get the job that you want, but you need to take baby steps toward it, and you have to accept sometime the reality, and just be hopeful. I think that what I learned at the end of the day is that I need to be hopeful, and then one day I'll achieve what I want.
How you were able to get your first job, or are you still hunting?
My first job, I think volunteering got me to my first job, and volunteering got me to my paid job, and I think hands down, volunteering is your way to get incredible opportunities down the road.
Thank you. Coming to you, Aya, please, are you prepared for graduation? Have you already thought about being graduated and what is waiting for you after the graduation? And if there's any kind of counseling that is preparing you to get a job or being hired, or not? Or you are still very ambitious to go further in your higher education?
Well, experiencing chômage or non-employment led me to pursue my higher degree. Actually,
So
when I
you
graduated,
have gone through that road already. You know what it
yes,
means to be.
I've already
Okay,
been
you have
through
been
that.
there. Okay,
I've been there for a
okay. Sorry
year.
for that. Yes,
Yes.
sorry for that.
Although I have a lot of volunteering experience and I have a lot of courses, I still couldn't find a job. And actually, I figured that maybe my department wasn't the right thing for the job that I wanted to hunt. So therefore, I am I am more okay. Actually, I wasn't shocked that I couldn't find a job, but now I am hopeful that maybe after doing a master's degree, like you see, you graduate from bachelor and you have like two languages or three languages, then you'd be like, okay, this is it. I'm gonna find the perfect job. Then you discover like, no, you have to do a master's to find a better job. And then you'd be like, no, you have to do a PhD. So I think it's like a labyrinth that never ends, but it's all about, as Habib said, it's all about patience and hope.
Good. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Coming back to you, Habib, what is your advice for the young people to be fluent in English as you are, and to be able to teach themselves and keep focusing on their studies and highly motivated despite the going on noise everywhere in the world nowadays?
Well, my advice to them is for me, I think a major part of what made me speak English is watching movies, for example. At the same time, I saw people who watch movies, but still they did not manage to learn the language, and I knew that there's something missing. It's not just about taking a means whatsoever that could help you to learn English, but there has to be the intention. So you have to have this intent that you want to learn this thing through this means, whether it's reading books or watching movies or any of other, there are countless ways. And so what I advise is,
The best
in
one
my
based on
humble,
your experience, please.
yeah, in my humble experience, I think listening. I think listening is very crucial and is very important. The more you listen, the better. But there has to be some continuity in it. It has to be continuous. You have to keep listening for years and years, and it's something that is subconscious. Uh, as you listen, you think that you're not improving, but in reality you are. But you have to. It has to last for some time, so it can accumulate, and then boom, you'll be like, oh, now I'm able to do that and to say that and to understand that. Well, that's magic of listening. So I think listening is very, very important. And it's very, very important to listen to things that you understand, or at least that you understand 70%. And so you can get some benefit. So I think listening is a key element.
But you cannot start with the listening something with 70%. If you are already there, you are excellent. You are you are
Oh, yeah,
almost
yeah, yeah.
an expert. So in the very beginning, you will not be able to understand anything normally
Exactly,
if it
exactly,
is very
exactly.
new and foreign language. So if it is coming to 70%, that's already a great improvement by itself. Coming to you, Aya, what is your best advice to the young generation who would like to be excellent as you are in learning and speaking English, please, based on your
My
experience?
advice
Mhm.
my advice is never be afraid. Never be shy and never be afraid to learn and never be afraid to speak. I do agree with Habib that listening is important, but at the end of the day, if you don't practice, you can't get anywhere. So even if you make mistakes, keep on speaking, keep on talking. Even if they laugh at you, laugh at your accent, laugh at anything, don't mind them and just keep on speaking, keep on practicing, and eventually you will get there.
All right.
Yeah,
Thank you
keep
so much for
breaking
that.
English.
Yeah. Okay. Coming to you, Habib, please. What is your final word to the world?
Okay, my final word to the world
The
is
most inspiring, the most inspiring one, please.
okay. The most inspiring one for me is that everyone should look for a purpose in life. You should look for something that you really, really want to do apart from your job, that you want to assure a payment. But what is that thing that you can do that you feel like it's spiritually fulfilling to you? It's something that you can do till you die. And I think that's the thing that we should look for, and that's the thing that we should hold on to tight.
And what the thing that you want to do for the rest of your life, by the way?
So the thing that I feel like I can do for the rest of my life is to have a professional podcast in which people can just come together and talk about things and
So
just
you
put
want
things
to
on the
compete with
table.
me? Too early for you to compete with me.
I didn't say that.
Okay,
No,
great.
it's
Yeah.
not.
It's your absolute right. It's your ambition. Keep doing it. Starting right, not now. Start yesterday.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And having you on the podcast will be
sure.
a priority for me.
That's great. So that's all right.
Podcast show.
Coming to you, Aya. What is your inspiration? Out of desperation, please.
My inspiration is okay, this might sound a little bit cringy, but my inspiration is my father. As
Yes.
I said earlier, he inspires me to become a better person by supporting. Like, it's very hard to find a supportive Sudanese father, but he always inspires me the way he takes life, the way he takes everything, and I am looking up to him. So he is my inspiration.
Great. Thank you so much. We are trying to include Tafa. Tafa, are you listening to us? You want to just participate by audio? Are you listening, please? Hi, Tafa. It's still out of the city, out of the city again. Okay, thank you so much, Aya. Thank you so much, Habib, for being excellent guest today. Thank you so much for being very patient for this late hours in this show. Hopefully that
Okay.
we will get more time to host you in coming edition to talk about different topic when it is early a little bit, so we can associate more people. I know a lot of people want to listen to you, to watch you, to question you, to interact with you, but it was very late. Thank you so much for your determination, for your ambitions, and keep going. The limits is just yours. Don't limit yourself when you are illimited. So thank you so much for
Inshallah.
being excellent
Inshallah.
participant in this show. Wishing you all the best you wish for yourself. And until we meet again, wishing you all the best. Thank you. Have a great
Thank you
Thank you
day.
so
so much
much. Thank you so much.
for having
Bye.
us.
Pleasure to talk to you anytime.